On March 1st of 2025, I was right at or even over 336 pounds. I had severe sleep apnea, and I felt worse than I looked. Beginning on March 1st, though, I would go on a weight loss journey while keeping a full-time office job, being very sedentary, working on a YouTube channel most evenings, and I didn't step foot in the gym reliably at all. As of February the 24th, 2026, I am coming in at 225 pounds. That's a loss of about 111 pounds in just about 1 year. No gym membership, just a weird diet, and stay with me, gaming. I honestly don't think I could have completed this much of my weight loss journey without what has always been told to me is a bad hobby. Now, quick disclaimer, everyone's health journey will be different. What works for me will not work for everyone, but this is my story. So complete honesty, no matter how embarrassing some of the story might be. I am currently knocking on 30. I'm a white male, obviously. I mean, have you heard this voice? And I'm 5'11". Ever since 2017, right after college, my weight has steadily increased until I reached a really bad place. So, I wanted to finally get serious and try to take care of my health. I've always been told, Jeff, if you were as serious about your health as you were about your passions, you'd be unstoppable. Well, okay. That's fair. I can also say the same about my school studies, my personal faith, and a ton of other things. So, I tried to bring that energy to this process because it was starting to really affect all of my life. If you know what? If you go back, I may have edited some of it out when I was still trying to learn video editing, but if you look, there were a few times during Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and Brotherhood where I was so unhealthy I was falling asleep trying to stream and record. Yeah, before I got to figure out the, how to mute, or, you could probably hear me snore a little bit, and that's horrifically embarrassing. Thankfully, as the weight has come off, I don't struggle with that. But I remember being so just mortified about that, and as I was able to learn better editing, I was able to hide it better. But now, I don't even have to hide it because it's not happening. Now, let's forgive the title a little bit, but the main thing I did was not just keep gaming. I've been gaming since I was 8. My diet, though, has always been terrible. So let's unveil the curtain a little bit more, beyond falling asleep on Twitch. I was in the habit of eating 3 pounds of spaghetti, including about a gallon of spaghetti sauce. My personal spaghetti recipe is absolutely legendary. Maybe every 2 weeks. It's cheap, it's easy, it's good, and it was killing my body. It would be nothing for me to eat a 19-inch double cheese pepperoni and mushroom pizza in 2 sittings on the same day, and that second sitting was just eating like the last 4 pieces. Yeah, Jeff was fat. Ooh. Like Jabba the Hutt, here's actually an image of me on March 1st, 2025. I was trying to film an indie film with my buddy. Just a little short tech demo. Yeah, look at that. I struggle with portion control, appetite cravings, and late night or over budget eating. I always have, because I have a capacity for eating that is very extreme. I come from a family of bigger guys and even bigger appetites. So what was I going to do? Was I going to starve myself? No. I was working at my current job, and an older fellow came in, a customer, and he was talking to my father. We work in the same company, but in different branches. And he was talking and trying to convince my father to try this diet he was on. And he was talking all about how he changed his life and got off all of his medicine with this strange diet. This strange carnivore diet. Meat, fish, eggs, butter, real fat. If it had a mom or a dad or a face, you eat it. Well, that sounds pretty good. I adore meat. When I was 12, I remember even joking about my love of meat-based food and calling myself a carnivore. Though, if we're being honest, I didn't love meat as much as I loved pasta. So I started looking into the carnivore community a little bit. The raving reviews, the opposing groups saying that all these people were cultish and gonna die of a heart attack. But this customer, this older man, directed me to Dr. Ken Berry, and he had a couple videos, just very surface level things, and I did some actual research. And long story short, what am I gonna lose? I ended up trying it, and other than a few bumps in the road, I've been very consistent. And it's not easy. I still have trouble with cravings and late night eating, and I can smell bread within probably 80 yards of me. But I have a method. I have a hobby. Let me walk you through my carnivore rules for the day, alright? And I have scaled this down as my caloric needs have also went down. I eat right now between 1,800 and 1,900 calories in a day. I try to stay on the 1,800 because that's my sweet spot. That's about a 500 to 700 calorie deficit for my maintenance. But I allow myself 1,900 if I'm just hungry. I get it. So, meat and animal products only. My eating window is around noon or 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., but I normally end up just eating one meal a day around noon or 1 p.m., and I just knock out all my calories. Now, I prefer it because I have a longer time to work through the food and digest, and in the morning, when I check my weight around 6 a.m., it's normally independent of having had a larger meal. So, like clockwork, throughout the day, I encounter a rough spot around 6 p.m. when I get home from work. I want to eat. I want to eat so bad, and I have tried it all. Stick a note on the fridge with an inspirational note to yourself. Drink water, which, by the way, it does help. But if I'm not actively doing something, I will be tempted to break my calorie limit every time, and I will cheat myself every time. Now, we will all have days that we break or we mess up. But you don't just stop because you have a bad day. The key to success, at least to me, is that if you keep having more good days than bad days on a diet, that is where you will make your progress. And speaking on the lack of a gym, I have won the pounds I've lost in the kitchen. Cutting out sugar, cutting out carbs, has forced my body to use all of this stored fat. Like, plug me up to a car, I've got it. Hopefully not for very much longer. See, from about 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., I have time by myself if I don't already have evening things to do. So if I'm not gaming or working on YouTube, I will cheat myself, like I said, every time. So while I'm retraining my mind to say no without distraction, I also reinforce that by filling my attention with things that I enjoy. If I'm not doing anything, I'm thinking about the food in my fridge. See, here's another admission. Food addiction is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen, but it doesn't have to rule our lives. I have a friend who has made me very aware of the fact that most people in America that struggle with their weight may also struggle with food addiction. Now, I'm not saying that you do. I'm not saying that you do. I know I do. I know that my friend does. And it makes sense. I can see how someone might get to my point. Regardless, I've come into a routine to not be home. Go socialize, go out and see people. Now, that is a little bit harder because other people have to eat, and other people don't struggle with the things I do. I'm not going to be like, no, can we not eat around me right now? I'm not eating. I would never do that. So sometimes, even if I want to be social, I go and I work on a project, right? So if I am at home, I need to be writing. I need to be recording. I need to be gaming. I need to be working on the channel or my tabletop system. It helps me keep myself distracted and in check because when I'm working on things, I am so immersed in it, I'm not thinking about how I could eat. And that makes me sound so bad. But I have to take that thought captive. I have to realize that that is my reality, even if it's not going to be my reality forever. I can look back at dry spots or bad days when I haven't gamed or recorded for the channel and I stall or I gain weight. Why? Well, it's because I'm in the kitchen, standing at my fridge door, compulsively eating out of the fridge. See, a lifetime of bad eating habits has reinforced bad, compulsive, self-rewarding, and emotionally soothing behavior, with food being the delivery service. Now, it's not food's fault. It's how I've been using it. I've been using it for pleasure and for comfort, not what it is, not for fuel. So, what does that look like for me, personally? Well, like I said, I work on videos. I record the Let's Plays and the Let's Role Plays. I think about little talking essays like this one. I write for my D&D campaign that I run with my friends. I work on my own tabletop role-playing system that I'm hoping to start demoing soon. And I try to buckle down and work on my novels. Sometimes, though, this just looks like me relaxing in my recliner and going through the motions playing some of my favorite games. Skyrim, Fallout, Oblivion, maybe even Yakuza or Metal Gear Solid. I play comfort games that also immerse me. And I don't bring food into my gaming space. And before I know it, it's time to go to bed because I've got to work and be a functioning adult. So, at least for me, I have found that gaming, putting my focus, my attention to these projects or moments of digital escapism, they help me. Because I am a food addict. Because I will cheat myself. But also because I'm an author. I'm a forever DM. I'm a game designer. And I'm a YouTuber. So I write, I session prep, I work on my rules, I record games, but I'm also a gamer before all that as well. I play games because I like them, because as a child, I enjoyed the hobby, but they also help me say no to my bad food habit. So, it's been 11 months, knocking on 12, and it's been 111 pounds down and maybe 25 to 45 left to go. The carnivore diet has helped me immensely by cleaning up my fuel, but gaming has helped me burn my fuel more efficiently. I could always go to the gym and really burn it, but this works for me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you are struggling with a food addiction, the worst thing you can do is ignore it. The second worst thing you can do is keep it to yourself. I know it's embarrassing. Find a group or maybe a friend to confide in. I have a buddy. We both started at the same time, and he has been running his own small business with his wife, and it is hard. But me and him, we're in the trenches. We've got each other every single day. And you know what? If we miss a few days and we don't check in, that's okay too. Because we end up getting back on the horse. We don't let each other stop. Find something you can do that takes your focus away from wanting the food. Because at that point, you don't need to be eating. You need to eat. You absolutely need to eat. But excess isn't necessary. It's burning fuel off the top. So find yourself a hobby that you love more than you love the excess of eating. Maybe it is the gym. Good, that's not mine. I fuel my passions with this fuel that I need. I don't need to confuse my fuel with my passion. Because food for a long time was a fun, was a safe, it was more than just sustenance. It was pleasure. It was a reward. It was a good job for making it through the week to payday. I don't need to confuse my fuel with my passion because my passions are fueled by my fuel. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for taking a moment to talk about health. It's a weird topic for this channel, but you know what? We're also talking about how a hobby I love helped me change my life. If you liked the video, let me know by clicking the like button and maybe leave a comment. Do you find gaming helps you with different aspects of your life? Tell me. Gaming doesn't just help me keep me on my diet. It helps me with a lot of other things that we'll probably talk about later. Or maybe, weird, there's interest in breaking down my weird carnivore diet. But this is a gaming channel, so if not, I do get that. Subscribe for more gaming and life talks, and as always, keep telling stories.